Welcome all. In this session, I am going to discuss about system models which are used for distributed and cloud computing. So here I am going to cover the clusters which are used for the cooperative computers and the grid computing infrastructures. That is, what is grid computing, what are the types, what are the how we are going to use the grid computing, and what is a peer-to-peer network and what are the families involved in that one, and the infrastructures of the peer-to-peer networks. In the later I am going to discuss about the cloud computing over the internet. So how we are going to use the cloud computing, and the next what is the importance of the cloud and how why we use the cloud computing. These reasons are all discussed here. So the first one here is what is a distributed and the next cloud computing, why we need to use all these things. So these things, cloud computing and the next distributed computing or independent computer nodes which are interconnected by the SAN, LAN and then WAN. So here the storage area network is described. LAN means local area network or the wide area network we are using. If we are specifying the SAN means it is completely based on the storage area network what we are using here. And if we are specifying the connection is on the LAN, then will easily connect the hundreds of machines what you are using for the cluster formation using the LAN switches you are having. And then next, if you are processing through the WAN, then we need to use the many local clusters what you are having, from large to small clusters you can use to process all these things. So why we need to specify all these things, or why we need to process means we need to gather the we need to specify all the computers or the nodes to be formed together, and then next to process the data, or to get the data to process a given one. What he to do, what they need to do is nothing but they should be brought together by using any methodology we are having. That is, we can use a LAN or WAN or SAN. So these are the things we are having, that is based on the things of the classification. We got the four groups of classifications here. One is a computer cluster, another one is a peer-to-peer networks, and then the third one is the data computational grids, and the fourth one is the cloud platforms. So the numbers what we specified here are given as the port numbers what they are used here. So 10, 28, 30 are the, and the next 34, 46, these are the port numbers or the what has been used by this one. So these are the functionality applications which are regarding to these things. The first one is the architecture or the network connectivity and the size of this thing. Whereas the computer clusters, what they are specifying is nothing but there is a network of the computer nodes which are connected by the methodology what you are using. That is a any network topology, any network connection oriented one what you are using, that is a SAN, LAN and then next WAN, and then you can specify an hierarchical manner also. If you are coming to these peer-to-peer networks, what we need is that it is a flexible network which are the client machines are logically connected by an overlay network. So why we are using these things as a logically connected means we are not, they may be physically connected or they may not be physically connected here. And then the third one is it is completely about the grid computing. So in this grid computing we are using, there are the three types of the grid computings of there. In this we are using the data or the computational grids here. So here why we what is the architecture of here, this thing is it's a heterogeneous clusters interconnected by the high speed network links over the selected resources sites. So here they are providing the links to the selected resource sites, and what they are doing is nothing but they are possibly accessing these the links to get the data here. And the third and the fourth one we are having is the cloud platforms. What the cloud platforms are doing here is that it is maintaining the virtual cluster of the servers or the data centers via SLA, that is a software link architecture. What it is doing here is, so here it is maintaining the servers here, whereas the computer clusters what it is doing is it is maintaining the nodes what it is having, that is only maintaining the computers it is having, the computers which are having the equality, that is they are behaving means, for example they are having the basic as a business work, what they done is nothing but they can be formed as a cluster. If they are accessing the academic one, then they can be plus means they can be formed as a cluster. And then another one they are from browsing only, they are using for the browsing means what they do is nothing but they will be formed at these another cluster. So like this what we does now, the architecture of these four groups are described. And then next yeah, and the second functionality of the is control and resource management. So how you are going to specify the resources, and then how you are going to control here is, in this computer clusters, what we are using is, we are using the homogeneous nodes with distributed control. Means we are not providing any centralizer here. Even we can use anything, any Linux or the Unix based or the Windows or anything. What we are doing is here, we are providing the control to them means by their to their side we are providing all these things. And then next what you are presenting here is, uh, the running environment is, the either you can use the Unix or the Linux. And then coming to the peer-to-peer networks, we are providing the autonomous client nodes which was free in and out. Means autonomous means they can be joined, and then next they can be removed by their own decisions, and they can take the decisions how going to process this and how the data can be characterized or anything. So they can make their own decisions. And then next free in and out means they can be into the network or out of the network based on the things what you are using. And then next with the self organization means they won't depend upon the another things, they will be taking their own decisions, they are managing their resources or anything by their self one. And the third one, that is about the grid computing. So it is completely about the centralized control. So whereas the others, the remaining two, what we have discussed is, it is a distributed control and it is having the self control, but it is maintaining the, that is grid computing is maintaining the centralized control here, because it is a server oriented one. So the server oriented means there could be a security, and we can provide the authenticated security there also. And coming to the fourth one, cloud. So here they are having the dynamic resource provisioning of servers and storage and networks. So how we are providing means, we are having the means the cloud will provide the accessing to the servers and the storage and the networks. Means what there are is dynamically you will connect to that thing, and then you will process, and then you can get the data there itself. And the last one, sorry, third one, we are having the applications and network centric services. So how we are going to provide the services to that one. So this is the first one. Computer cluster is completely depends upon the HPC. That is a performance oriented one. So it is means these thing. The first one will be concentrated on the speed of the system. Means the high performance computing is completely based on the at what speed or at you are means you are completing your work like. So and what are the how you are going to provide the services is through the search engines and then web service you are having. And coming to the second one, that is a peer-to-peer networks. It is completely means supporting the business file sharing, and then next content delivery and the social networking. Means these are the things what it is means, what are the applications what you're using the peer-to-peer networks are the business file, and then next content delivery on social networking websites what you are having. And coming to the grid computing, it is having the distributed supercomputing global problem solving, and then next data centers services also. Means these are the applications, whether it is providing, it is having the centralized control also. What it is doing is, it is providing the distributed supercomputing environment, and it is solving the things what you are having. And what are the applications of the cloud platforms you are having is a upgraded web search, we are, and then next utility computing and the outsourced computing services what you are providing. So here the representation oriented, that is what are the things we are using here. Means for example, if here the research they are providing the applications, mean here we are having the cloud clusters, Google searches, there is a, we are providing the UML, and then next TerraGrid, and then it's Google App Engines. So sorry. So these are the things we are having as an examples. In that first one we are discussing is the clusters. So how we are providing the clusters means, it is as I said, first it will take the behavior which is has a common thing, and then next which are working cooperatively. Means means there should be a interface between them, and then next what you do is nothing but they will integrate all these computer systems, and then next what you do is you will give the workloads to them. To perform the workloads, what they will do is they will interact with each other, and then next the task what is given, what the given to him is successfully performed by these computer clusters what you are having. So that's why we are having the, what is the definition, or what you are specifying the cluster is, it consists of the interconnected standalone computers which work cooperatively. So why we need to use the cooperative means, as they are connected to the network. So what they do here, they need to transfer the data, or they need to communicate, or that they need some permissions or like that. So for that, what they need to know is nothing but they should be in a connected way. So they will use the LAN or SAN or anything, any network where they can use. And then next we are providing some interconnectivity with the message passing, or that is inter-process communication or anything. What the method they are using, they can use. And then next, they by using that method, what the ultimate thing is, they have to successfully finish the work they what they has the given. And then next, how we are going to provide these clusters. What is the importance of the clusters here is, so the works what you are having, that is a heavy workloads or the some light workloads, whatever it is, what it do is nothing but it in these clusters will take out the work, and then next divide into this one, that is a divide and conquer. And then next, what are the data sets they are having also, they could be in a very large one or the small one, what they are depending. So what they do here is the workloads will be taken, and then next they will be spreaded along these cluster computers what they're having. They can divide their work, and then next they process the work. After that, they will get the result from these clusters who have been working for this thing. So what is an architecture of this cluster means, it can be a typical server cluster. Low latency will be there. So what is the latency here is, we are processing any request means, what it has to do is nothing but from our side we will take a requesting, and then next we will raise a request, and these requests will be processed, and then next we will get the output here. So between the processing and the next getting, that is a request raising and getting the output, there could be a processing time will be there. So the processing time could be high, that is called as a latency there. So request is raised from the user, and then if the server, what it takes is, it takes this request from the user or any organization, it processes the request and gives the output. So the time which is lapsed between these request and the response could be high in some computers, or some technology oriented one also, it could be high. So here what it is providing is, it is having the low latency, means there could be no waiting time, or there could be no processing time, it could be high here. So what they do is nothing but they're providing, there's a request, if the request is generated from your side, that could be processed and then given to you within a low amount of the time only. And to process these things, what they are using is, they have to use the high bandwidth interconnection network. Because why we need to process all these things, means we have to take the request. If you are maintaining the low bandwidth, means the server will buffer like that only. So by that, what you are having is, you can have the latency as a very high. So to overcome this latency low, what we need to do is nothing but we need to maintain the bandwidth which is high one, to interconnect the networks we are having. So what are the networks we can use is, for the SAN we can use a MyriNet, and then for the LAN also you can use the Ethernet, which is also Giga Ethernet also supportable here. So by using this network, so first to build an architecture, what we need to do is nothing but it should be a low latency, and it should use the high bandwidth also. So what could be the bandwidths, or the what could be the network supporting for this one is, either it is a SAN or the LAN. So these are the two things, resources, or the two things we are collected now. And the another one, it has a why to build a large cluster, what we need. So first we need to take the means how many nodes we are using here. So first initially to this cluster, how many nodes you are allocating, in future how many nodes you are going to add also, you have to know. So without knowing, and you are getting, or you are means preparing an architecture, or designing architecture is not a worthable one. So what do you have to do is nothing but first we need to take the for what you are designing, and then next what you are using to design. So for what we are is, if it is a business oriented one, first we are using 100 clusters, then you will add the 100 more clusters or the 50 more clusters. So what the network you are designing is be able to handle 100 more or not, what you have to decide here. So for that, what you have to do here to build a large cluster with more nodes, what we need to do is nothing but we need to take multiple levels of the gigabit Ethernet on the MyriNet or InfiniBand band switches. So we are not taking a single one. single network or the single thing is not taking. We are taking at the multiple levels. So we are not pressurizing only one network to take all these nodes and process my application or process my problem within this particular amount of the time. So what they done is nothing more. So here I am taking a large cluster with the more nodes. So the more nodes means the more nodes are at this particular time. So there could be a chance we can add more nodes to your cluster also. So for that, what we need to do here, we need to maintain, that is a what your connection, interconnection network we are having is that could be capable of accessing all these things in the future also. So that's why what we are taking the only not only a single level of the Ethernet, we are taking the multiple levels here. So multiple levels, and then next to we can use the gigabit Ethernet marine. We cannot using all these things at once. We can use anything. So the switches are plotted. By this, what you are providing is a connection through this one. So here, what the type of the construction we are having is that we are having the hierarchical construction, which is using, as I said, SAN, LAN, or that one. So if if you are able to build a cluster, means which is a scalable, then you can increase the number of the nodes because it is a hierarchical manner. Hierarchical manner means you can go to the add by add, means you can add many childs or many systems to many nodes to that one. So by adding the nodes also, what it is taking, what it is not providing any disadvantages. How it is not providing any disadvantages? At one level it is maintaining one switch, at the another level it is maintaining another switch. So for the two levels it is maintaining one switch, like that. So we are adding the switches to that thing. We are not maintaining a single connection line, and we are providing these connection line only has to be used by these nodes. What we are doing is we are providing the switches here. How we are going to provide the switches means we are taking it as a hierarchical manner. Means hierarchical manner means level by level we will decide. So these levels are connected to a switches. Means one level can connect to the, if you are having at the one level 20 to 30 systems are designed. So 22 systems are connected. What the 22 systems are connected to a switch there. So and again what they do, they go to the another level which is having the another 20 to 30, like that. So for each and everything they are using the Ethernet only or Myrinet or in3 brand. What they are doing is nothing but they are not providing these things to the process to only that network connection only. What they are maintaining is they are maintaining a separate connection at this particular level. So if you are going to add the more nodes to that one, so it can be go to the another level, means it could be go to the another level means what it does they, so what it is processing, what it is doing has to be done at this level only, and these level things are connected to that switch, and then next what the does, what the things we are having that would be taken by the switches only. And then next we are having, that is how we are going to cluster, means connect to the cluster, means we are designing, we design a cluster. So design, how we are going to design a cluster means what is the important thing is it could be low latency, and then next another one is it should support the high bandwidth internet connection, and then next what you are having is another one. So to describe all these things, internet, then what you are going to use is interconnecting for this one Myrinet or the gigabit internet or InfiniBand you are going to use. So what the main thing, what is the third thing we are having is while designing. So we are building a thing here. So we are building a cluster means it is used for future purpose also, means for the things we are designed, means you are not going to take the another cluster which is having the same behavior, that is the same common points here, and you are going to take the cluster another one also, that won't make sense. That is a cluster. The cluster means it is having the whatever the common behavior it is having has to be deployed into this cluster, and this cluster has to maintain all these things. So for designing the cluster we need to concentrate on the future also and then present also. If there is any chance to add the more nodes in the future, what we need to do, we need to maintain, that is there could be the multiple levels here, at the levels what you are maintaining, that is the switches are maintaining like that. So we are designing a cluster, and how we are going to connect to a cluster means it is connecting to the cluster is done by the through a internet via VPN gateway, that is a virtual private network gateway. So how we are going to locate the clusters? The clusters is these gateway will give the IP address. What it does is nothing but it will provide where the gateway, where the cluster is residing like that. And we are having one thing, that is a system image. So what is the system image of a computer means? So this image will decide what this cluster will perform, means what the resources it is having and how it is going to process all this like that. So here the system image is depends upon the thing what you are using here. So here the system image will change, means by the user, by user also it will change, because how we are going to provide means here the clusters are shared, the resources are shared, means you can use any resource there, you cannot may not use the resources what they are provided. And then what are the coupling what you are providing is it's a loosely coupled node computers which are used by the most of the clusters we are having. So how we are providing the resources to this thing? So the resources are provided means to the server node only, and they are managed by their own OS. Means the server will provide the resources, and they have been managed by own OS only. And then next we are having these multiple. As I said, they are having the multiple system images. Multiple system images. Why we need to provide the multiple system images means there could be some autonomous nodes. So autonomous nodes means they are providing the some self control there. So these self control also what it is doing here, it is providing that you can use your own things here, you can your process your own things there itself only. So by that you are having that your multiple system images there. So for a single cluster, what it is doing is it is providing the multiple images, because that is it can perform this kind of things like that. Because why it is performing means the connection what you are giving to the nodes that are autonomous also, that is they can make their own decisions or they can process their decisions there. So these controls what you are given to them can decide what is the image of your system, means what are the resources it is having, what is the work will be done by that thing, and then next how we are going to process all these things will be decided by their own way. So that's why we said that each and every computer has their own system image due to the way they are managing. So that these are the things we are having in the cluster, and this is the one architecture we are having. So these are the clusters we are having, the servers, and then next we have clusters, IO devices, disk arrays for storing the data what you are having, and the internet is there. It is connected to the this structure is connected to the internet through the VPN gateway, like as I said. So what you are doing here is we are taking the that is a SAN, LAN, and then next network area network architecture systems, and then next storage. You are having the storage one, and then next local area one, and you are having Ethernet, that is a gigabit Ethernet also used, Mighty Ethernet, and then next InfiniBand you are used. So here providing clusters for the servers here. Servers are used here. This why we are maintaining the multiple servers here is the servers will look after the each and everything by their own, means they won't access all these things by the single server here. It is maintaining the multiple servers, the multiple servers having the multiple behaviors here. So if the user want to connect to this cluster, there is through this gateway by using the internet, he will connect to the cluster, and he want to access any server where behavior means any server. We are having the 100 servers, means we can access any server from that one. So what they do is nothing but they provide the initiation there here itself only, and to access the data from that one, what they do has a disk arrays are they will process these things there. So this is the simple architecture of this cluster. So in this only we are having that is a single system. Likewise I said that is you are having the multiple images or there, single system images are there. So what we are providing these things are here. So multi images are there. So multi images means multi system images. Why we are providing multi system images here? So here I am having the multiple nodes. The multiple nodes are multiple nodes means multiple behaviors. Multiple behavior supports means here having the thing how we are going to access or processing these things, it is based on the node what you are using. So what the node does is it is decided by itself only, because due to the autonomous nodes means are there. So what it is doing here is completely based on the image what it is providing. So here So what you are having is that is multiple system means everyone we are connecting to a environment or we are you are behaving means your own way means it is not supported as a means it is not worthable or means appreciable by the cluster environment. So what they done is the multiple system images what you are having should be integrated to the SSI, that is a single system image for a cluster. Means what is a cluster? It is having a common behavior, means they support some means they are work on only one application on common application, and then next what they are having is they can go for the is a business oriented one and then academic oriented one or anything, means they have in the common and they have to access the like the common only. So that's why what they done is the multiple system images what they are providing has to be processed and then has to be means maintained in a single one. After that we are having the middleware here. So what is a middleware is if your environment is not supported to anything, what it is provides an environment as a virtual one. What it does is, for example, if you don't have any software like that, what it takes is but if it takes your program and then it converts and then next it is processed to the means it is acting as an interface which is a middleware. So how we are why we are using this cluster OS means it also supports the middleware here. So middleware means if your CPU is not supporting some Windows environment is not supported, what they by using this cluster OS what it takes here. So what the environment you want, that is if you want you in the Linux one, what it takes is nothing but it is given, that is this cluster provides your Windows environment to applicate means to access and then next wanted to process your applications or to process your data what you are having. Not at all that one, it is providing the memory spaces and the next IOs all these through the nodes what it is connecting there. And then next what did you have to means these are the things you can give, that is there is a called the middleware is there, means every means if you are not having that environment, what it does is nothing but it provides the environment also. So that's why what they you can access any environment from anywhere. So what it does here, what you are processing, I'm giving the processing also. So there you can support the single system environment or the single system images what you are having there itself only. So if you are not having that means that middleware which supports the CPU's memories also, then we need to maintain the multiple images here. So why we need to maintain the multiple images, but these cluster OS also supporting all these things. Now, then what we need to do is nothing but for overall the clusters what we are having, sorry, overall the nodes we are having in the cluster has to maintain a image what it is having only. Means the resources and the next the things what you are having has been commonly used here. And how we are defining a SSI, that is a single system image, it is an illusion. Means what it is providing, that is these are all things are virtual, that is we are imagining they exist and what they are processing has been existed like that we are imagining. So what it shows or what it is provides is integrated resources which are single and powerful, means which are means integrated resources means whatever the resources we are having, that is multiple resources, means the CPUs and then next operating systems and then applications or the IOs, whatever you are having, they are integrated to one thing. Means they are not they belong to the one community, they are not belong to the something. What they are done is they are integrated there and it is providing to that. So what you are doing is we are having access to these resources based on your requirement. And then what is SSI, how you are going to create it, this SSI means it is created by any software, that is hardware which are used by the cluster node what you are depending here. And finally what we need to say here is uh, a cluster which is having the multiple system images you only a collection of resources of independent computers. So here we are maintaining the independency here. Independency means here we are connected to a network and we are having your independent behavior also. That is not allowable here, that is a cluster means it should be has a common behavior like that it is specified. So independency what you are providing, that is a controlling or has to should be or given to these nodes as a distributed, and then there could be no any independent behaviors will be there. So like that what we need to do is nothing but we need to maintain a single system image which is having a cluster for having the same integrated survey resources for all and the same things what you are providing, that is a control for all things what you are having. And then next, what are the hardware and the middleware supports what you are providing is that is uh, there is a parallelism will be there. So why we need to provide this a parallelism is as the massive means we are not providing the paralleling for the one jobs or the two jobs like that. We are providing the multiple means massively you are providing, that is we are taking the thousands of the jobs which are could be run at the same time, like the GPU what you have discussed earlier. And what you are having, that is a massively parallel processing or clusters. So how you are going to process these clusters, or which are taking these computers which are having, there is a PCs, there means we are having the computer nodes that has a PCs, symmetric multiprocessors, workstations, and then next communication softwares, that is PVM, MPIs. These are all took as the clustering things, and then next we form these things onto each node, and then next we are maintaining an interface card, network interface card for each and everything to support all these things. So whatever the nodes you are taking here means either you are taking the PCs or multiprocessors, workstations, or anything. Means you are not giving to the single thing. We are not we are processing to anything. Your PC can be connected to the any server. So how we are going to connect to a server means it is you have to access the server. You need to go for the internet like that. So whatever the things what you are providing is asking given to the interface card here. What the interface card does is nothing but it will provide these middleware also any processing to this thing. And we are having these things, that is another one that is having the high bandwidth edge. So what the nodes here took, that is here took the things are the workstations, and then is you are connecting the all branches to the data centers, and then next if you are taking these any virtual machine, that is a any peer to peer, sorry, virtual machine will be there, or any MPI message passing interface will be there. So what are these things are done is nothing but this will maintain or this will process the things what you are having. And then next we will maintain all these things in a particular manner, and you will go for these internet connection connectivity based on the network technology what you are using, that is gigabit ethernet. So how we are going to create the SSIs here? So first we need to take the middleware support. Means SSIs, why we need to create the SSIs means we need to maintain a system image which is a single one, which is the unique one for all the nodes what you are having. So for that what we have to do, we need to provide the environment has been supported for the each and every node what you are having. For that what we need to do is nothing but we need to take the middleware cluster support here also. After that what we need to do is nothing but we need to run the apps here. So what the apps they have to run, they can be run in the sequential manner and the parallel manner also. Means they support only these sequential, means it's not the allowable in one here. What it has to do is nothing but the apps what you are providing could be run, that is applications what you are mentioning could be run sequentially, that is in the serial manner also, or it can be in the parallel manner also. Node by node has to be executed, or all the nodes are the concurrently executing their things which are having the resources which are provided by the cluster, that is the integrated resources has been taken by these means accessed by these nodes, and then next provide the solutions for these apps or the applications what you are using there. And then next we have to maintain a memory here. So for these SSI, what the memory we are using is it could be the distributed shared memory. So why we need to use this distributed shared memory here means we need to provide whether we are having these things, that is uh, what you are chosen that makes any data what you have these that has to be shared by the nodes what you are using in the cluster. And the next by that what you do what it happens, it's nothing but there could be no autonomous or there could be no individual processing there. All the users, all the nodes what has to take that means the resources should be took for this DSM only. Means they need no need to maintain their own space. The own space could be maintained for means if there is any urgency or if there is any processing like these while application processing, if this is done, then what they do means these all the resources what you are having what available to each and every user what you are having in the cluster. And then next what are the features we are set means maintaining these middleware, and then next processing could be sequential and parallel, and then next maintaining a distributed shared memory. What are the features given to designing this SSI or the expensive? And then next, what the another thing we will specify is what means orally what you are describing means theoretically what you are saying cannot be applicable when you are coming to the means implementation part. When you are providing these implementations on your computer, it could be not easy, because how we are providing means how we are providing all these things to this processing means it could be not easy to process all what you are providing. Means taking all this shared memory, you should access all this shared memory. The cluster means it would maintain only 2 3 systems, not like that, it could maintain any thousands of systems, say thousands of systems has to access these shared memory. Means you could provide the shared memory as a main thing there also. So for designing this memory, you could have the much more capacity. And then next, what are the internet things where things what you are using there, and what are the middleware supports what you are providing. Each and having the multiple operating systems there, multiple environments will be there. So you need to support all these things while providing a single system image for cluster. So if you want to maintain the single system image, you need to specify an expensive way. And then next, what is the implementation? Coming to the implementation part, it could be difficult to achieve all these things. And later after, we are having the what are the major cluster issues, or the what are the major things we are having here while the designing. So like I said, single OS controlling is there. So single OS controlling means we are maintaining the single OS means it's not the easy one. So say a single system image or the single OS means it's not virtually you are processing means it's a difficult one. And in the previous last I discussed that is the designing, and the next means achieving the SSI is difficult and then expensive also. And then what you are providing, that is a middleware is there. So if you are providing the middleware, that is a you are providing the environment should be cluster to cluster. Sometimes we need to give the means communication or give the processing from within the cluster also, from cluster to cluster also. If you are not able to maintain a middleware within the cluster, then means there should be communication between the clusters also not possible, because the coupling that means the processing what you are maintaining between the machines within the cluster or between the clusters also not same, then you will face problems while processing all these things. Later on we are having some advantages also, which is having the scalable performance by passing the message passing also, it is also need also getting the things. And then next, the system availability will be there, the fault and the tolerance which is have occur is a good. And then next, the job management what you are providing, which is means world means the cluster wide what you are managing or you are processing the jobs, it's a good one and reacts positively and having and maintain the good thing also there. And the another representations we are having these things is functional characterization and the feasible implementation. Means what we said and how we are providing means how we are going to implementing all these things. Means you are giving these characters or the features to that thing, or later on it is implementing. If it is possible to implement all these things or not, these are the features it is describing. The first one is availability and the support. So what it does here, the functional characterization, what it is providing is it is a hardware and support for the sustain. That is, you are maintaining the cluster here, which is a heterogeneous one at the one. What it does is here, in which points it is implementation, feasible implementation is the failover and the failback checking points, rollback memory, non-stop OSS, all these things are it is implementing in this way. And coming to the hardware fault tolerance, that is the failure the failure has been occurred, the failure occurred is it has to be automatically managed. So these automatically managed, what you have to do is nothing but there could be component redundancy will be there. Means the component redundancy means for example, if the one component is failing or one component is not processed, what it has to do is not it could be replaced by that component there itself only, and it could be in a fast one. And then next, single system image is another feature. So as we know that we can't support these single system at the functioning level, because we are theoretically we can say that it can be achieved, but by coming to the implementation way or the practical way, we can't use these extensions, middlewares, and the next supports of at this functional level. So what are the feasible implementations of this thing is the mechanisms what you are having for these things. What you are having, that is as I said, DSM and the next middlewares has to be means maintained. These maintenance or the implementations could not be done in a particular way. What are the efficient communications? So what are the efficient communications it is taking is reduce message passing technique. So message passing system means the if you are why it is advantages and disadvantages means if the person or this the cluster we are maintained the node which has been maintained here, if the person is not there for receive that message, what it does is nothing but they could wait for these things. So they should be wait for all. For example, if the person is not there, means if he is for the 10 minutes or there, what he has to do is nothing but they should wait for the 10 minutes for not performing any job or not performing any. So for that, what we need to is nothing but we need to maintain the active messages, and then next fast messages passing, and the next MPI library enhancements like it has to be processed, has to be included to efficient communication. And then next cluster wide job management. So here we are maintaining the global job, that is it is having the that is the centralized or the distributed environment. Also what it is taking is the that is better scheduling and the monitor will be performed there. So what it does is nothing but to perform all these things whatever he has scheduled it should be done, and then next to monitor what the jobs you are having. And then next you are providing the single job managements also such as LSF, and then next code and what you are having. And then next the fifth thing we are having, that is the sixth thing we are having is a dynamic load balancing. How we are going to balance your workload? So what you are doing is you need to maintain the failure recovery there. So first we need to take the how we are going to implement means we need to maintain the monitor there. So the process migration will be there. That is one there. If any replication or the any scheduling will be there, we have to done. And then scalability of the programming, more servers has to be added to these clusters. Means more servers added means there could be in interconnect more performance monitoring, meaning what you are performing or what you are monitoring will be not done by the single server there. We are maintaining the more servers in the single cluster, and what it does is nothing but it will look after the all these things features what you are having. Means it could execution environment could be look after with the one server, and then its performance monitoring, and then it's scalable. Means if you are adding more server means if you are means what you are doing is you are providing, you are splitting your work, and there could what it is they can't pressurize your server to do all these things in a manner there. After that's about your cluster. And then next you are having the second one, that is a grid computing infrastructures. First, what is a grid computing? It is a computer network in which each computer resource are shared with every other computer in the system. Means you are providing a network connection here. So what the network connection we are using is it is commonly used for the resources what you are having. So what you are providing here is each and every computers what you are using, they can share their resources in this one. So this is also one part of the or one thought of your distributed system with non-reactive workloads. That is, there won't be any interactive there. Interaction will not be provided in the workloads there. They means they perform their work on their own without interacting with the another workloads what they're having. And coming to the what are the things it is having is the processing power, memory, and the data storage for these community resources or please means processing all the specific talks also they are defined means these resources what you are using are specified here. And coming take an example here, that is a corporation that allocates a set of the computer nodes running in the cluster perform a given task. That is they given means they perform the given task based on each and every computer node what you are having that is connected to the cluster. And then next what it takes is nothing but it is performing jointly a given task. That is a task what you are given is divided into the things, and then next what it is doing is it is processing all these things in a manner. So what we do here, this is an example for your grid computing. So what are the types of the grids? You are having the three types of the grids: computational grid, data grid, and the collaborative grid. Computational grid, what is do here is the resources what it is. The resources of many computers are what you are providing is you are provided in a single network, and then next it is it going to access all these things. And then data grids is completely based on the shared and then next distributed data, managing the large amount of the data. And collaborative grid, what it is any collaborative problem solved. It means if you are collaborating with the another environment, if you are collaborating with the another thing, so if you are maintaining, if you are having any problem, that could be designed, that can be processed here. So the first one you have is a computational grid. So it provides an infrastructure which couples all the computer software or hardware sensors or anything what you are using here. Means what's the computational grid does is nothing but it is completely provides an infrastructure for the things what you are using, either it is a software one, hardware one, or the sensors or the objects what you are using. And what the others means you can use many things, so the devices which could be connect, which has to be provided together. So how you are going to provide the connection to these connection together using this grid is these LAN, WAN or other networks, that is a SAN or NAS, or could be used to provide the connections. So these are computational grids, or the grids what you are what you are using can be specified as a virtual platforms. Means virtual platforms means they could be means we can use the workstation servers, and the clusters are also used as a grid. They means the computers which are used not only the computer nodes, PCs are not only used in this grid. You can specify the workstations and then servers, and even the clusters also. Clusters means not a single node, the clusters, and the clusters are also maintained as a grid here. So what you means how you are providing these things means these are connected to a network, and we are accessing these data of these or the resources of these networks through a system which is a grid one. So this is an example for this one. We are connected to a broadband network. So these are the grid. The above one is specified as a grid. Here you have the having the satellite connection, and you are having the database connection. These are the servers what you are having there. So these what it is providing is we can use the database also. We can use the expensive equipments which are to connect to the this network. So how we are going to connect to this network? So we can use the cams and then telephones, and then next to TVs, means you can use your digital diaries, the databases what you are having, the cards which are what you are having, PCs, and then next any more things what you are providing can be connected to your internet through this IP broadband network. What it does is nothing but it provides the data to this thing. Means if you are what the thing you are using, not the processed one. So what they say, you can connect through this grid, or you connect to this environment from anywhere or any resource what you are using, and it will provide the equal service and equal the resource sharing to this one only if it is capable of accessing that one. So what are the grid families you are having? So first is what is the technology we are using is a distributed computing technology in this grid one, which supports the software and the middleware support. So likewise the cluster, it is also supports the middleware support, and it uses some network protocols, and the hardware infrastructures has to be included in this grid technology. So we are having some projects also which is using this grid one. So by ABM, which is a means which has been used by the IBM, and then next Microsoft, HP, Dell, and the Oracle also. So here, who will provide these services means the GSP services will be there. So what they do is nothing but they will provide the grid accessing or the grid computing accessing to the users or the to the organizations. So what we have to do is nothing but they need to use a new application. Means what they have to, why we need to provide these grid, it means they will select a application which is rapidly emerging. Means they won't use all these things here, they won't they just use the app which is having a growth on the network. And then next what it does is nothing but the web service what you are providing here means in the two tickets there is, if there is any growth means then only they will choose the to be provided by that means in this grid. Means simply it is taking the web service or any application, it's not the possible here. What it does is nothing but here it takes the survey here whether there is an increase or whether there is any possibility here is there or not. If you are not providing anything, means if you are not, there is no any growth or any processing like that, what it does here is just simply takes won't consider it into this thing. So first what it is, the GSP providers, what they do is nothing but they take the application which is rapidly growing on the internet. Means if it is not growing, it is not be processed, it not be took, through this providers. So we are having essentially two we are considering the three that is a computational. Here we are having these that is the types of grid, that is a computational data and the collaborative grids. Here what we are doing is we are providing only two categories. Essentially it is only using two categories, that is a computational based one and the data grid. and then or data grid, and then next it is using the peer-to-peer grids also. It is using these things. So primarily it is based on these the computational or the data grids what you are having. So what are the design issues processed with these two one, that is the essential grids are. First one, grid application reported. So the first computation of the data grids are using the distributed the supercomputing, and the next national grid initiatives are there. But coming to this peer-to-peer, what it is doing, it is providing the flexible environment, that is the resources what you are giving to this client could be available at any machine. Means it is not the, means it is using some middleware processing there. What it is doing is nothing, it is providing, you can use the accessing of these means you it won't be means it won't disallow any person. We won't use this resource like that. What it does is nothing, but it simply allows the user to use any resources what it is having there. And coming to the representative systems, what are the systems representing these computation and the grid? There are TerraGrid built in US and China Grid in China, and then next eService Grid, what here eScience Grid in UK. So these are the representatives which are using the features of the computational, the data grids and the functionalities of these also, and has been developed based on these things what you are using. And then coming to this one, that's P2P grids. We are having the that is JXTA, and then excited mode, SETI home, like that we are processing. And then you are having the another one, that is the last one, the design issues. We are having development lessons learned. So what are the lessons learned while developing these things? Means here the restricted user groups. Now, while providing the middleware, you are initiating some bugs there. And then is the protocols, what you are using to the protocols to acquire the resources. We need to maintain the protocol here, that is in it the credentials will be there. So here P2P creates what it is completely based on the resources what you are having there. So the client missions, it provide the users here, there are, it is not maintaining any restriction to, that is a user can't access these data like that. It is open to all that one. So there it maintains unreliable user contributor resources. And for this main, it is not possible to give all the data for all the users. For that, what it does is nothing, but it is maintaining only few apps here. Not all apps or not applications are allowable for all these things. Only few apps can be used, and these few apps will allow you take the all the data what it is presenting. And then next one, you have the peer-to-peer network families. What is a peer-to-peer network or the computing? So it is a distributed application architecture. The partition task are the workloads between peers. The peers has been taken here. The peers, what it is having is, so it is taken the workloads, and means here we are taking a workload, we are distributing the workload to the peer-to-peer, and we are processing this workload as a means simultaneously, and it is performing all these things concurrently and giving resultant. So how are the peers? Peers are possible, means peers are plotted. How are these plotted? Means it is equally privileged. Means whatever the permissions you are giving to your one peer could be given to the another peer also. And the participants we are having, that is a in the application also equally privileged one. And then what are the means networks? What you are using is your the network of nodes. What you are using should be formed to the peer-to-peer. Here peer means it is a node here, but what the node it is doing is it is having the equal initiation, and then next equal processing, equal privilegizations you are having, that is the peer-to-peer network. And what is the architecture we are having is a client server architecture. What the client does is nothing but how we are going to process the data here is where in first we need to take the client server architecture. The client server architecture is the clients are converted to a central server, and then next what the central server does is nothing but if the client is accessing any information or asking from any information, what it does is nothing but it provides the network, that is the data here. So they won't, means there is no any common reason here, means they can they connect to the central server for different purposes. So they won't use any common reason, common processing will be there. The process of means the purpose of processing will be different for machine to machine. So whereas here the P2P architecture, it is maintaining or it is giving a distributed model of the network system. That is what it is doing is nothing but that is not based on the clients what you are using, it is based on the server what you are using. So it is not completely based on the clients what you are providing here. The server what you are, it is completely based on the servers what you are using here. So what is the P2P systems you are having? Every node acts as a both client as a server. So we can't say it is only client, it is only the server. Why we need, why I mentioned this is a client and the server means the server what you have mentioned can access the data from another server also, then it can act as a client there. So what you are providing is every node what you are using in the peer-to-peer system, that is every peer will act as a server and a client. And also, and then next what you are having, that is the peer machines. The peer machines, how you are going to connect the peer machines means these are connected through the internet. So all these client machines what you are using with or autonomously means there is a there you are providing a choice, you can in and out, means based on your requirements you can join in your into this network, or you are connect to this peer, means this is a node, or you may not connect to this one, based on your choice it is providing. And there is no any central coordination will be there. So so database what you are providing is means they are providing self organizing and distributed control. Self organizing distributed control means each peer has their database, means you are not providing any server, but means central that is a distributed shared memory or anything what your DSM or not, you are not providing here. What you are doing is simply you are providing a self organizing one, that is each and everything, each and every node has to maintain their means own space. And then it's the control what you are in, it could be distributed. So here what is the view of the mission is, it could be not be a global view, because it is having self organizing means it could be look after these local one only. And then next what it is supporting is it is also supporting the distributed control, means you can control, it's not controlling all these things what you are having. And then next unrelated, why we these peers are unrelated means they are connected through a network, but they are not means connected, means interconnected one through a network, but they are not interacted with the each other while processing also, that's why they are not unrelated. So we are, why you are providing these things means how you are going to process these things means the peers what you are using can be join this physical network at any time, they can leave the physical network at any time. So these not connected to the means these are not specified, you can join at this time only, you can leave at this time only, it is not possible. For this what it is using is simple ad hoc network for these internet domains what they are using, not a big networks what is providing, simple ad hoc network it is using. And then next is interconnection is provided. If you are will to join you can join, if you are willing to go you can go, and then next you want to rejoin also you can rejoin. So this is the structure of the peer-to-peer network what you are having. This is the IP network. Later on we are discussing in the next slide, we are discussing what is the overlay network there. So these are the links what I'm providing, the blue color is the virtual links we are using. So this is the virtual link is provided in the overlay. And then next what the things we are using is the physical link, means they are connected to in a network there, means they are using some LAN connection type, LAN type connection, means they are physically connected. So here we are connecting, these are the grids, these are things what you are using here. So these each and every system are specified as a peers here. You can be connected through a protocol what you are using. If you're not the providing any protocol, or means you can use any digital system to access this network. So what is an overlay network? So it is a telecommunication network on the top of another network and is supported by its infrastructure. So here see here, it is a IP network. It is which is the bottom one. The overlay network is it is on the top of that one. So how we are going to provide these overlay networks? It is built on the top of that one, and it is using all these things it is having. Means it is if you are seeing the dashed lines, it is connected to these networks what you are having there in the IP network. That is a physically connected one, and the water the overlay network is which is a virtually connected one. So it is not a physically connected one, it is maintaining the virtual links here. So on coming to what is the overlay does here means it takes the services, what are the services provided from these things or by these underlying infrastructure, and then next encapsulate one packet inside of the another packet there. So it is not, it is having its infrastructure okay, but what it does is it is taking the services, it is accessing the services from the infrastructure, not its own. So how we are going to process this means means the took services are encapsulated into the packet of another one, means it is hiding the details or hiding the services of the took one to the another packet here. So how we are going to specify it is it's a virtual network. It is not a physical network. Like I said, it is a virtual network forming the mapping between the physical machines with its IDs through a virtual mapping. So here we are providing these things here. These are interconnected, means these things what you are specifying here interconnected. And how they are interconnected, how they are, means here I am taking the phones also, these are also interconnected one. So how we are specifying these them as a interconnected, means we are maintaining some virtual IP address, or it means by taking this thing virtual thing, what it is linked, it is connected to this one and accessing the services provided with this infrastructure and processing all these things from this peer. So that is a virtual thing what you are having here. So it is not using any its own, what it is taking, it is taking a virtual link, establishing connection with this one, and it is taking the services from this thing. After all, what it is doing is it is using the things what is provided by here. So what is how we are going to do is this: when a peer joins to the system, what it does, it is added to, means it gives a ID, means it is gives a ID, and then next the peer it is added a node to the overlay network. So whenever you are adding, means new things, what it does is nothing but it is giving a ID and is processing all these things. So when the existing peer leaves the system, means it is giving a choice to add or leave based on your system. So what it does here, it is the peer ID is removed from the overlay network. What is, means if the joined one is removed, or if the joined or exist one is, or we leave the system, what it does is nothing but the peer which is the ID present in the overlay network is also removed, because it is using the infrastructure of the underlaid one. So here if it is added, means for example, if your system is added here, what it does is nothing but it is having its own ID. If the system is added here, what it takes is nothing but automatically it is updating the overlay network also. So here what it is doing, it is providing some things that is automatic updations from these two networks, which is underlaying this one and the overlaying also. After that, we are having, there is a it is the P2P network. Why we are calling it is a P2P over network is it is having the logical connectivity among the peers. What you have, the logical connectivity it is maintaining. So how many types of the overlay networks you are having is the unstructured overlay and the structured overlay. So these are characterized by the, well, under unstructured one is characterized by the random graph what you are using. There is no any fixed route to send the messages to process all these things. It by the while sending, it will decide what the way or the what the map I am going to use there. So here to nodes we are any means any means you want to send any query to another network or processing on it, you can send any queries there also. And coming to the another one, structure overlay network, what it is it holds the topology, means it maintains a topology. If it's a mesh one or the any one star one, it means it is has to be connected there. So if you are providing any rules of insertion or the deletion of the nodes, what you have to do is nothing but we need to go over the overlay graph also. So the graph what it is maintained by the overlay network is a overlay graph. If you are maintaining, if you are processing anything, if you are updating anything here, these also be changed in the overlay graph also. The routing mechanisms what we are having has to be decided before the processing only. We can't decide at the time of processing there. What they do is nothing but before the processing, before the sending also, what it has to do is nothing but they decide the map, and then the mechanisms what it has to be followed there itself only. So these are the application families we are having. Attractive, we are designing, that is attractive applications, distributed fail sharing, collaborative form, that is a distributed P2P network, P2P. So they are the four types of networks there. So these are the features of the network we are using. Attractive applications, operation problems, example systems, what here. So attractive applications means what is the thing we are using here. So the distributed file sharing is completely based on the MP3 music, and then next open software what you are using, where the collaborative form is used for the messaging or the designing and the gaming all you are using, where the distributed P2P is used for the scientific exploration, and the last one is used for the open networks for the public resources what they are providing. And then operational problems, what are the problems we are using is it is a security problems it is supporting, that is a copyright violations will be there because the music video and then it's open software will be there. So what they do, what they means they will means they will have their own versions will be violating, means it is a copyright violation, we are providing lack of trust. means messaging, designing at the gaming will be there. We can just spam, privacy, peer collisions will be there. Distribute peer to computing, what it is doing here is security holes, that is a selfish partners will be there. What is the peer collision will be occurs, and then next the security will be violated there. After that, we have the lack of standards and the protection protocols. Here means your public sources are open networks here. The public resources are open networks means that is there could be no protection will be here. So these are the examples: Gradle and Napster, and the next ICQ, Groove, SETI at the home, JXT.net, and the next Fighting Aid at the home. These are the examples of it, or the example things what you are using: BitTorrent, Napster, Skype, Xeonomy. These are the things what you are using for the applications in the P2P family. So these are the four families or the four types of the networks we are using in the peer-to-peer networks. So what are the things, what means, what are the problems or the convergence we are computing challenges we are having is means what you have said is means what you are theoretically providing is has to be implemented in the hardware and then software and the network oriented. So what are the hardware models we are using is VDR means there could be any there should be compatibility between the software and the operating system what you are using there. So there could be also compatibility between the hardware and the software what you are using. Different network connections what you are maintaining could be product means complex one and the loose one also be used. What are the applications you are providing? There's a real time or anything, whatever the things you are proposing in your peer-to-peer system has to be applied to the real-time systems also. Or the data location scalability performance, or the means these are the bandwidth we also challenges has to be provided, and the routing efficiency also represented. Why we need to choose the routing efficiency means it is providing some structured and unstructured, that is a dynamic routing, and the next statical routing is also there. So dynamic routing means it is sufficient means it is efficient to process, means it is deciding its own way of processing these things. So by this, what it does is nothing but if any routing problems will occur, any secure violations will be occur, there has to be means look after all these things. If the look after means if won't take the actions at the particular time, the performance of these things has been degraded there itself only. Now, the tolerance failure management, load balancing, of the storage space, all these also are considered as the disadvantages of these. Means the challenges has to be faced by these peer-to-peer networks. Distributed nature of these networks has been occurred. That is a failure of some page doesn't means if you are these are not interconnected. Sorry, these are not interrelated. They are unrelated one. So what they are, if the failure of the one system won't affect the other system, that is a advantage here. So if the failure of the one system is deciding the failure of the another system or affecting that one, what it comes is here can the full network what you are designing will be failure one. So there is no any such conditions. That's why peer-to-peer fault tolerance is good here. So what are the disadvantage here? Another disadvantage of the system is it's not a centralized one. We are maintaining the distributed one. So the distributed control and then self-organizing control you are also giving there. So that's one what it does is nothing but the security what you are providing is the less one. And you are providing this, that is you can go on means you can add or you can means you can log in, you can come in and go out anywhere at any time like that. You are providing means you are giving a choice like that. What it does is nothing but it also providing some security violations will be there. So like that you are processing. So what are the peer-to-peer networks processing means it is useful now not only for the large number of peers, it is only for the small number of peers. The concepts what it is describing can be implemented for the small number of peers likewise as it is described only. And the last one you have the cloud computing over the internet. So the cloud computing is the how we are defining the cloud computing means it is a cloud is a pool of virtualized computer resources what you are using. So here what you are providing is a cloud can host a variety of different workloads. So that is a backend jobs and the interactive jobs user facility can be used as a in a cloud. And then next you can specify a different workloads also. Yeah, it can means a cloud has not been designed for this workload only, like that you are specifying. It can be designed for any workload what you are having there. And then next what are the explosion means what are the trend of the computing what you are using is that is a software apps also using these in these things you are providing. And then next there is a constant data also. So the data what you are has been transferred to the software for the computation. And then next computing with software or computation is also, that's why we using the computing means the data what you are using for the software also use it for the computation. That's why we are supporting the cloud computing here. So means what are the how we are going to allow these workloads means a cloud allows the workload to be deployed and scaled out rapidly provisioning. means physical or virtual system. It's not using only virtual system for the processing. It can be used with the physical system for also processing. And the cloud supports redundant, means self-redundant for processing and the self-recovering processing, highly scalable programming, or like all these has to be included. The system monitors reuse, means the sources what you are providing. There's the resources what you are providing is they could be allocate, means use it based on the allocations only, and then rebalance it when required. Means if you are providing any allocations violated one, it's not be allowed here. We could be allowed the things which are allocated only here. And what you are having the another one, that is the internet cloud here. So what it is, these how we are providing the internet cloud means it is a virtualized platform with elastic resources. So on demanding it is providing. So what are the demanding resources? Could be hardware, software, and the data sets dynamically what you are providing. So here the desktop computing has to be, means why we need to use this internet cloud means we need to move these desktop computing, means we need to provide these only the desktop computing is not the good one by in these days. We need to provide the service oriented platforms which are using your server clusters, high databases, and the next any softwares or any applications or anything from your end without installing all these things. So here what it is supports is nothing but this machine virtualization is enabled here, which is not the cost effective one, because we are not any installing any physical spaces here, physical, and then next you are not providing anything. What you are doing is we are providing the virtual environment to access all these things by the freely or costly. Like, that is, you can pay paid services will be there. And what are the internet computers we have? That is it is having some applications which are simultaneously provided, and then it is a trustworthy, dependable on the secured one, and it is a centralized resource pool. We can specify it as a centralized resource pool also. The practices what you are given for the distributed computing also you use it here, and then what the services what you are provide has been specified here also. So here the virtual resources from the data centers to format these internet cloud. So the internet cloud won't contain any software like that we are not representing. It contains all the resources can be provided here. So here providing the paid services on these are, I am representing on the paid services. You can provide the paid service and the free services also based on the requirements we wish. And the next what you have to user has to submit the request, and the next what it does based on the services requested by you, what it does is nothing but it will process the data given by you. So what is the cloud what you are using, the cloud landscape what you are using here? So the cloud landscape is represented, means it is controlled by any companies or the organizations what you are using. So if you are providing any, means if you are encountering any problem, that is a constant maintenance, pure utilization, increasing cost, right? Like that, what you have to do is nothing but you need to specify the landscape what you are using there. So the cloud computing what you are specifying utilizes all these on-demanding computing things, different types of computing. What are the services you are, means based on the services they wish what they are providing the services in that. The first one is infrastructure as a services, means it is provide the services, storages, networks, and the data center fabric as there. So by using means multiple virtual machines, means running guest environments, operating systems will be there. So it is providing anything slightly, means infrastructure oriented one it is providing. And the next platform services means that is the middlewares and the data service development tools, and the next some runtime supports will be provided will be there. So what it includes here, it is both hardware and the software integrated environment. That is the provider can means any software tool, that is a Java, Python, web user, .NET, and then next any using that any using things we can be provided there. And then software as a service means what it does is nothing but the paid, means it is a cloud customer which is also already developed one. So there could be no any changes, there could be anything. What it does is nothing but until the software licensing is expired, what you can use that thing. So if the license is expired, what you have to do is nothing but here you have to specify this thing. So the software which is developed one, you will use this thing. So that software can be any means any business oriented one, year oriented one, anything you can develop or any can even process. In the letter I gave an example here. So this is how we are going to provide these things. So here the infrastructure as a services what it uses provides a data center and a way to host client VMS. So how you are going to provide these web services, EC2, Gogrio, and these what it doing is nothing but it is providing all the data to access. So how you are going to access and how you are going to process these things is nothing but platform as a service. It is providing environment, that is what you are doing, that is you are having the Google Google Engine will be there, Cloud Era will be there, and the next you are having collaboration, Google Colab will be there, and the next Scape, right scale. These all the things what you are using is for using the online or the means virtual environment to develop your programs, which is not present in your system. Whereas coming to the software as a service, what it is doing is it is providing the software. It is already developed one, means Google Docs, Sheets, and then next Lumen PDFs. What it is having that thing. What you can use that thing. So after that, what he has to do is if you are in the Google Docs, what you can do, you can enter your data, you are processed your data, and then you can save it. Then save it there. Means already processed one, you can't provide any changes to that one. The processed one will be used here. So this is an example of your representation, the services what you are using. So what are the deployments earlier in the first lecture only I described we are based on the cloud environment, cloud location. We'll use the deployment models like that for private, public, and the next hybrid. And the next we are also some different with the managed also. That big data cloud, yeah, many things we can use based on the location of using we are providing. So why we use this cloud reasons, one yeah, separate reasons why we are using means these are like means the protected space will be there, energy efficiency will be providing, peak that is a load capacity what you are providing, there is a large pool of the users can use this thing, overall utilizations will be increasing also here. And then it's the infrastructure maintenance is not provided. What it does is nothing but it providing the infrastructure also, that is whatever you are using data centers, the servers, it is also providing there. And then application development is also supporting. And then next cost reduction we are providing here also. And what you are using is a programming environment, application developer environment also, we are in licensing environment also, it is providing the service, the data discovery, and then it's service distribution also there. The privacy, security, copyrights, and the reliability issues also resolved here. These are the things what you are providing. The service agreements, business models, pricing policies also considered here while processing all these things. So this is about your the system models of your distributed and the cloud computing environments what you are using. Thank you.